Hey everybody, it's Daryl back again. We're going to do some hive inspections today. It is, I think, the 2nd of February. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get this video edited, but today is the 2nd of February. We're going to go through these hives and check them and see what we got going on. We're looking for brood. We're looking for honey stores, pollen. We're looking for everything today. We've got a warm streak. We've had 2 days of warm weather today. It's supposed to be 70 degrees. So I'm going to go through the hives real quick before I go to work. It's supposed to cool off this weekend. The bad thing about the weather we have in North Carolina is 70 yesterday and today, and this weekend it's going to be down in the 40s. And the reason why that's bad is, like today, these hives are really active. Bees are trying to go out and forage and bring back nectar and pollen and all that other good stuff, and they'll find some pollen because we got dandelions blooming. The red maple trees are starting to do their little thing so they can bring pollen in off of that, but there's not a whole lot of nectar around. So I do supplemental feeding on my stuff, because if I don't, with these warm days like this, they'll burn through their honey stores in no time and end up starving. I've had hives starve to death in the first part of April just because of the stupid weather we have. But anyway, we're going to jump on this hives inspections, and let's hope and pray we have good stuff. So stick around. Alright, hopefully we got it at the right angle so the wind ain't blowing right down the pipe. I put ratchet straps on all my hives, that way I ain't got to worry about the tops blowing off of them. These hives have not been checked in several weeks just because of the fact of the weather. Small cluster in the back. They've eaten through all their bee fondant, so I need to go to the house and get some more of that. These are some shims that I made. I don't think I've put that video out yet, so that's something I need to do too. But pretty much, you don't want to really disturb this hive too much. That's just half drawn out comb, really crappy looking job on that. All I'm going to do is pull out this frame with the little cluster on it and see if we got eggs. If we do, we know the queen is still laying. We're trying to keep the hive up and going. We got honey, we got eggs, and we got cat brood. Very little pollen. Matter of fact, there's your queen. I'm not going to point her out, but y'all can look for it. They're bringing in a little bit of nectar, if you can see that right there with the sunshine. With the angle of the sun, I don't know if y'all can see anything, but anyway, that's capped honey right there. So this hive's doing all right. Its numbers are really low, which is not always a bad thing, but I'd like to see more numbers. So there that hive is. I'm going to need to put more bee fondant on here, and I'll probably end up doing that today. So when I do that, I'll splice it in the video. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave the strap off of it so I'll know which hive that is. So one hive's decent, it's still surviving, and needs bee fondant. This hive here's got decent activity. I'm expecting to see good things out of it, but then again, you never really know. Normally when you're doing hive inspections, it's not good to stand in front of your hives, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I got a bunch of bees backed up behind me. Now when you do hive inspections like this right here, and you see you got hives that you need to do a little bit of stuff to, if you'll leave your straps off or your stuff off the top of it, you'll know which ones you need to come back and look for. A little buddy cockroach. If you see those in your hive, it's not a big deal. Give them a little puff of smoke on the top. I haven't done anything to these as far spawned or anything. Which I got some. Right there's our hive beetle. If you see a couple hive beetles, not the end of the world. Slow and easy. If you got hives that stick, I've got another hive tool that's got the little J hook on it. They're a little bit better for getting stuck hives out, but I ain't got it with me today, so we got to do what we can do. Outside frame, not really expecting to see a whole lot on it. Pretty much today, I'm going to pull the frame, slide them over, get to where the cluster's at, check that cluster for eggs, and then put it back together. This time of year, the less you take your hives apart, the better off you're going to be. Look out, baby. We got cat brood. We do have eggs. I don't know if you can see those or not, but this is good. There's a bee doing the waggle dance. See if she'll do it again. No. Camera shy. And there's the other side of that. So this queen is still laying a little bit. You're not going to see a whole bunch of eggs in this time of year. They're pretty much just doing enough to keep the hive going. So that's all we're doing with this one. I need to put bee fondant on this one because they're looking a little light. Put the top back on. Since we need to do something with this hive, we're going to leave the strap off of it. I just smashed the bee and it's still on my finger. So there we go. 2 hives down. 2 hives looking alright. This hive here has decent activity right now. Let me scoot around back. I've got a shim on it, so I know I've put bee fondant in it. It still has bee fondant. Now see, with the activity this hive had, I would expect to see more bees, but that's not the case. Try to make sure you're in the screen. Matter of fact, I don't see a whole lot of anything going on. This is a good case scenario where a lot of activity on a hive doesn't necessarily mean it's a booming hive. Nothing on there, just a pretty drawn out frame. We got a little bit of honey. Might move it in closer to the cluster. They got a little bit of nectar. Not seeing any eggs, so this hive's probably on the way out. I don't see no queen. So yeah, I'm thinking this hive's on the way out. Let's check one more frame. Got a little bit of nectar, a little bit of pollen stores, but see, the problem with this hive is I think it's queenless. The reason why I think it's queenless is if you'll notice, well, there's a few little eggs in there, but very, very few. And I don't see a queen. There she is. They're still got a queen, but they're not doing too good. You'll have to look real close. If I get the camera just right, there's a very few eggs in those cells down there. And there's a few right in there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this hive back together, say a little prayer for them, and send them on their way. Now what I'm also gonna do too, that frame that I pulled out that had honey on it, I'm gonna put it right here just as close to the cluster as I can. That way when it cools off this weekend, they ain't got as far to go to get it. Put our fondant right back on top. Close it back up. These bees have what they need to survive. Whether they'll survive or not, that's a whole nother ball game. If they survive, good thing. If they don't, it just weren't meant to be. Some people do whatever they can to try to save a beehive. I don't do it, I used to, but the way I look at it now, they can't survive. With the little bit of help that I give them, they're not really good genetics. So put the top on that. Notice how I put the strap on it. That means that I'm not going back in this hive. That it don't need to be anything done to it. This hive's also got decent activity. As we've seen on the last one, that doesn't mean anything. We got the shim here, so we know there's bee fondant in here, and I can see it. See how these bees are kind of sporadic and all over the place? That could be a sign of something. This is a batch of fondant that I made that didn't turn out exactly like I wanted to, so it's kind of crunchy. I haven't got my bee fondant making down to where I want it to be at, so I haven't made a video on it. Right here's the cluster, so we're just going to slide the frames over it. Alright, what we got here is a 5-frame nuke that I'm almost 100% sure is dead. I think it died out early in the winter. This hive's got halfway decent activity. We're going to see what they got going on. I was hoping to get out my hives on film today, but it don't look like it's going gonna happen because we're having memory card issues. We got the shim, so we know we've put fondant in here at some point in time. They've still got some fondant. This hive's got decent numbers. I can look at the cluster and tell that. Cluster is pretty much right in the middle. I see a little bit of honey stores. Not expecting to see a whole lot right there. The little cluster in this one is actually covering 3 different frames in this hive. As you can see, this hive's doing good. Got plenty of cat brood, and we got eggs and larvae. So everybody's doing good in this hive. I got a little bit of nectar stores or nectar coming in. That's a good thing. Good deal, good deal. This hive's doing good. No need to go any further. We got eggs and larvae, so we know the queen's laying. So we're good to go. Move our fondant back over. This hive could probably use some more fondant, and I might put some on it later, but just depends on how many hives need it. On which ones I'll do something with. I'm gonna take this brick and lay it on there sideways, so I know that they might need something. As you can see, this 5-frame nuke is empty. Good thing about it is it died out a little late in the winter, so we didn't have problems with wax moss on it. So the good thing about it is we'll have a comb to start the bees off with in the spring when we do splits. Here we got 2 hives, double stack, single stack. As you can tell, not a whole lot of activity. Not expecting to see a whole lot of that. Matter of fact, I don't think I've seen one bee fly out of that. We're gonna pop the top on it real quick. I think this hive died out. I can't remember. It must have just recently died out because I actually put bee fondant in here without the shim on it. Show you what we got right here. These bees actually froze in the cluster. We'll show you what that looks like. Matter of fact, it'll probably be its own separate video. You see your bees piled up like this right here? That means they froze to death. These bees are dead, as you can see. So, all I do when we have a hive that's froze, like these did, is I knock the bees out of it. Can't get them all out. We just knocked the bees out of it and put the hive back together and use it again for in the spring. What you see on top of these is sugar, but this is the sign of a frozen hive. These bees froze to death. So there you go. Hate to see that, but that's what happened to them. They froze to death. Now, since we know this hive froze to death, like I said before, we just beat the bees out of it, put it back together, make a positive out of a negative. This hive right here in the spring, when you get your packages in, or even your nukes, you've got drawed out comb. There's some honey stores and some pollen in here, so whatever you put in this hive has already got a head start. So just because you lose a hive, it's not the end of the world. You got resources here now that you can actually use for other stuff. So turn a negative into a positive. Losing a hive is not the end of the world. At least you still got the comb and all the resources that they had left over. So hope you're enjoying the videos. Like and subscribe. If you got any comments, leave them below. As always, we'll see you on the next one. Hey everybody, it's Daryl back again. Double stacked hives inspection in the wintertime. Now what I look for when I go into a double stacked hive in the wintertime, because it's February 2nd, I think is what it is today, I just go in the top box. If I find what I need to in the top box as far as eggs, larvae, pollen stores and honey stores, I put the hive back together. No reason to tear this hive all the way down trying to find the queen when you don't need to find her. All you need to do is make sure that you've got eggs and larvae, and that's proof that you've got a laying queen, and that's all you got to do. So we'll run through this one real quick, and I'll show you what I'm looking for. Pop the top off. When you look right in here, you see you've got bees. That is a good sign. Bee numbers are good. We got honey. I can see honey on this frame and that frame. I'm not even going to take this hive apart. The bee numbers are good enough right now that I'm not worried about it. I'm going to put this hive back together. Let them propolize it back up, because it's going to be cold this weekend. And the reason why I'm not going any further with this hive is because of the bee activity and the sheer numbers that I've got in that hive. I know that queen's doing what she's supposed to do. Me going into this hive will do nothing but knock it back. So with the numbers that I've got in that hive, I'm pretty confident that they don't need my assistance. So we're going to put it back together, ratchet her down good and tight, and go from there. Our winter here this year has been kind of stupid. We got warm and cold days. Like today it's 70 degrees here. This weekend it's going to be in the 40s. That is bad for the bees because they're flying like crazy, as you can see today, and they'll burn through their honey stores. When it cools back down, they'll end up starving to death. So warm weather in the winter time is good for the beekeeper. We get times to run through our hives and check them, but it's bad for the bees because, like I said, they burn through their stores. The reason why I didn't go any further than that, we got plenty of bee numbers in there. We got plenty of activity. I can see they're bringing in pollen. Normally if your bees are bringing in pollen, that means that they've got brood that they need to feed. So there's no reason for me to go any further in that. This hive's been propolized up, as you can tell right here. You can see the propolis where they've put them hives together. me taking that hive apart, we'll break that apart and they'll have to fix that, and at this point in time I see no need in doing that. So that's how I do a hive inspection on a double stacked hive. If the numbers were low, didn't really see that many bees, I would have tore it apart and checked it out. So that's the reason why I didn't go any further than that. Hope y'all are enjoying the videos. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Alright, we got decent activity on this hive here and this hive here. Let's check that one out, see what's going on with it. You can see, well, you probably can't see, we got decent activity, pretty good amount of bee numbers. Bee fondant on top, I think you can see that. The cluster looks like it's covering 2 to 3 frames, which is a good thing. Oh yeah. These bees are doing really good. We got cat brood, got some honey stores, and some pollen right smack dab in the middle of it. Good stuff on that side. This is the outside frame of the cluster, so I'm not expecting to see that many eggs. I'm gonna pull one more frame out and we'll see what it looks like. But it looks like they're doing pretty good. Oh yeah, they're doing good. Normally in the winter time, if you've got a cluster, your eggs and stuff's gonna be on your inside or your middle frame. Right there's your queen. You can see her. Click the like button. But normally she's gonna lay the most on the middle frame where the cluster's at. That way it's easier for them to keep warm. This hive's doing good. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So we're going to put it back together and leave it alone. It probably won't be a bad idea for me to give them a little bit of fondant, which I might do, just for safety measures. Strap off of it like the other ones that need a little bit of attention. The wind is kicking right now. We're going to leave the top off, or the strap off of it, so I know I need to come put a shim on that and throw some more fondant in there. So, hope you're enjoying the videos. Got any questions? Leave them in the comments below. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. We got a lot of videos coming out. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. So we got another double stacked hive right here. What we're going to do, like on the other video with the double stacked hive, if we've got plenty of numbers, we won't tear it all the way apart. This time of year, the less you can go in a hive, the better off you're going to be. Because when you take a hive apart, pull the frame stuff out, the bees have to go back through and fix it the way they want it. It's very important this time of year, unless the bees, the cluster is really, really small. You want to try to put the frames back in the way they come out. And you want to take the least amount of frames out that you can. So let's check it out, see what they're doing. Good bee numbers. I've actually got a little bit of bee fondant in here on these hives. These are some covers that I made. They're beaded covers, as you can see the holes. That helps with the moisture in the hive. Some of them got them, some of them don't. We got good bee numbers, that's a good thing. I'm still going to check this hive to make sure we got a laying queen. I can see a little bit of captive honey in here, that's a good thing. Looks like I crushed some bees in the bonnet, don't it? The cluster's right in here. It looks like a pretty good sized cluster, so that's a good thing. This hive got plenty of honey stores, it looks like. Yes, they've got plenty of honey stores, as you can see. Both sides. That's a good thing. Good, good, good. Try not to put your frames on the ground. I know you can't see what I'm doing back here, but I've got my cover turned sideways and I just laid the frame in on top of it. This hive's always been a little aggressive. Matter of fact, I just raked that stinger out. Let's see here. I don't know if the camera will focus on it or not, but it's pumping like a heart. This is one of my more aggressive hives. They have chased me across the yard before. Matter of fact, they're playing in my hair right now. Some hives are more aggressive than the other ones. This is a good case in point. That's what you call pollen stores. Lots and lots of pollen stores. Now being I've got the frame or two out of this box, I can see that the cluster has moved to the top of this box. And later on in the early spring, I'll rotate these boxes around. We've got eggs and larvae, so they're doing good. I got bees playing in my hair. This is one of my more aggressive hives. They're not too terribly bad, but they can be a pain in the butt. So, there we go. This hive's doing good. Put it back together and roll with it. Mean bees. These bees like to get in your hair and sting you in the head. That hive's doing good. That'll probably be, I'm gonna start doing some more queen grafting this year and play around with it and try to get more proficient at that so I can do some videos on it or whatever. But This hive right here's got good honey stores. It's February 2nd, so they've got pretty good genetics as far as, you know, bringing in what they need and storing honey and stuff, which is kind of what you want when you've got breeder queens or making queens. So they're a little aggressive. I think I got stung 4 times playing in that one hive, and I've been through 8 now and haven't got touched. But anyway, the hive's doing all right. The bottom box right here, pretty much empty. They've moved up to the top. So in the springtime, what I'll do is I'll take this hive, put it on the bottom, and take that hive body and put it on the top, because bees like to move up. So there's another hive inspection. Hope y'all learning from the videos. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Don't take but a second. We're going to have lots of videos coming up. Lots of, hopefully, educational videos so y'all can learn a little bit about the beekeeping stuff. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. On this. Hope y'all enjoyed the video today. As you can see, that's what I look for in my hives. We want to make sure you have honey stores and pollen. You want to check for brood. If you don't see your queen, that's 100% fine. It's not that big of a deal. You just want to make sure that you've got a laying queen, and the way you see or tell you've got a laying queen is by the eggs and the larva that is in the hive. So if you don't have a whole lot of stores, you can either feed them. This time of year in February, it's 2 to 1, 2 parts sugar, 1 part water. Mix it up, and you can put it in frame feeders. You got entrance feeders. There's several different ways to feed them. Try to get their stores back up. Like I said before, this time of year we got crazy weather here in North Carolina. It's 70 degrees today, and I think the high for Saturday is going to be 48. So bees can starve out this time of year, so that's one thing you need to look for. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.